review our OnSemble 5.0 features coming out. Thank you for joining us today. Just a few housekeeping items before we get started. If you can hold your questions until the end, we'll be going through those at the end of the webinar. You can ask a question either by raising your hand, or you can add your question to the question box. If you put your question in the question box as you come up with them, then we'll go back and get those as we go along the way. So that's fine to do along the way as well. I just wanted to start today by introducing myself. My name is Ann Wirtz, and I am the Vice President of Customer Support and also the OnSemble Product Manager. So I've been working with OnSemble for actually I've been at Passageways for 10 years. So I've worked with Portal Framework for a really long time, and I've traveled from support to working with account executives to QA, back to tech support, and now I'm doing quality assurance as well as product management, and still manage the tech support team. So I have my hands in a little bit of everything. So if you guys ever have any questions about any of the features that we're working on, or you know, anything you would like to see in the product, or just wanted to discuss that, I'm always here and happy to talk about those with you, and my information is here on the screen. We will just go ahead and get started. As you see, we have a new product name here. It's called OnSemble, and this past year we've just done a lot of things with the product, and we have Onboard that's come out, if you guys are familiar with our board portal product. And we just felt like with all the changes that we had coming up that we really needed to kind of give Portal Framework and the employee portal kind of its own new life and its own new chapter. So we did some brainstorming, and we settled on this name called OnSemble. So for those of you who haven't heard this before, you'll be hearing it quite frequently from us. We're already internally using this term. So if you call us, you'll be hearing that. And it's the same product, and it just references our employee portal suite. So Portal Framework and all of its modules. So we'll show you what we're going to be doing here, and this happened to me the last time I started here too. I'm going to log back in. You'll notice here though that I am right now just using a portal for the presentation. So what you're seeing that I'm doing here is all done with the new features in Portal Framework 5.0 that you will be seeing when we introduce this next release. And like I said, this past year in 2014 and the beginning of this year has just been really exciting for us on the employee portal side. We've had a lot of updates this year and have been able to accomplish a lot of feature requests that you guys have been asking for. I think just since last powwow, we've been able to close over 1,000 enhancement requests and bug fixes that were requested by our customers. So we're super excited. We have a new passion internally here, and everyone is just kind of ready to move forward. You can see that we did a lot. We've done a lot of releases on almost every module. We did a major upgrade to Portal Framework last year, as well as our vendor management module. And we also did a big upgrade to our dashboards module. So if you haven't taken a look at that, then that's something certainly you want to take a look at, because it's got some exciting new features in it as well. And just to reiterate, I've been working on this product for 10 years, getting feedback, listening to you guys, and just being able to be product manager and being able to see some of those things come to light is just really, truly exciting for me personally. And I think that picture that I chose is just, it's just what I feel, and I get so excited and pumped when I talk about these new features. So, like I said before, I'm happy to, listen to your feedback individually. So if you want to shoot me an email or give me a call, that would be awesome. So we really tried to, do a lot of feedback gathering. We've done this throughout the years, but we introduced, a couple of new things this year. Your customer success team is just integral in this process. If you're not working closely with your customer success manager, then I strongly encourage you to do so. They do a lot of valuable things, and that really is a primary source of our product feedback and a channel for us to hear what you guys are wanting, what you're struggling with, ways that we can improve, etc. They do executive business reviews with customers so they can help you guys align your portal to your strategic goals. They work with you guys in implementation, relaunches, branding, and through every interaction, they record anything that you guys tell them. So that's a super important channel for feedback. And we also have an awesome technical support team. I'm sure many of you guys have contacted them as well. But that's also another channel of feedback, and anytime you guys have a feature request or a bug, those all get submitted and and sent to product management. Another thing that we have implemented this year is our OnSemble community and our OnSemble Help Center. So we had the community tree prior to, so many of you are probably familiar with that. We've gone with a new solution. It's called Zendesk, and we're using their community to gather information. And it's a place really for you guys to share your ideas back and forth with each other as well. So if you haven't been able to jump into the community, I would recommend that you do that. But it's an awesome place just to kind of share some new ideas, maybe a new product idea that you might want to work on with consulting, things like that can be shared out in the community. We've also this year did some individual feedback sessions, and this was awesome because we actually pulled in the development team and the quality assurance team as well as myself, and we listened to customers and really what they were struggling with and things they liked and needed, and we took that and we morphed from that OnSemble 5.0. From all of that feedback, we definitely felt there was a common thread that we were hearing. So one of the biggest things was that you guys were wanting to have simplified content management. You wanted things to be easier to create and design and move around, etc. You wanted some more dynamic content rather than having to place a lot of islands on a page. You wanted to be able to rotate through things or show some great dashboards, etc. You wanted just flexibility, and you wanted a new look and feel. So we've gotten started, and I've got some things I'm going to walk through with you today. I'm sure you'll have a lot of questions at the end. But the first thing that I want to show you is some of the additions we've added to our island frames and our island colors. So a lot of you guys, you'll notice here that I don't have any island skins, which most of you have island skins, and you can turn them off now, but it's not super easy. So we've added a couple of interface options, and these are portal-wide options. And I'm just going to quickly turn this on here so you can see what this is. And now I'm going to have my island skins back on. And just like before, this is all managed through your style sheet. So if you like a different color, then you certainly can do that. But now I have my skins on, so I can turn those on and off at an organization or portal level, depending on whether I want to use those or not. I can also quickly and easily change. Right now my background color on my island is transparent, and I'm going to go ahead and change that background color. And I actually changed it so that it is the same color as my frame. So you see when I come here, obviously I would want to change my text color, but now the background color of my island is easy to change. Another feature that we have that we don't have in this build is that we've actually added a secondary color so that you can actually set two island colors and you can flip back and forth. So if you have a primary color that you want to use on most of your islands and maybe a couple of different islands in a different color, then we're going to have that ability as well. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to set myself back up to the way I was. So I don't want to use my frames anymore, and I'm going to go back to transparent. And you can see just how quick and easy that is to do. Another feature that we're adding that's not in this to show you is many of you guys like to have this navigation tree collapsed but it requires us to change a file on the back end. And we are going to add an option so that you can collapse this by default. So whenever you get in that navigation tree is collapsed. So this is what you would see primarily all the time. So that shows you how to change our island frames, our island color, just as an easy way to give you guys a new look and feel. Now you'll notice that I'm using the portal here and the images here just to quickly navigate through, which is another feature that you guys wanted. One of the things, another common thread here was that you guys wanted images and links and to be made a lot easier. And we know a lot of you use the Portal Text Editor Island. It's probably the most used island in the portal right now, but it's also the most complex, and it's also the one that causes probably the biggest pain point for everyone. So we kind of looked at the Portal Text Editor Island. We looked at changing that island and using a different tool. We looked at a lot of different options. What we found, though, was that the island is really powerful, so we didn't want to take it away. And the other tools that are as powerful as the Portal Text Editor really run into the same issues as the Portal Text Editor. So there wasn't going to be a lot of gain doing a lot with the Portal Text Editor Island. So what we did was we really listened to what you were wanting to accomplish, and we've added 2 new islands to the portal. The first island is called our Image Island, and I've named this page Images Made Easy because it's very easy now to add an image, make it add a URL to the image so that you can navigate, and then you can navigate right back, and you don't have to touch your HTML. You just upload an image, add the URL, add some text if you want to, and you're good to go. There's not even an option in this case to change the HTML because we want to, if you want to do that, then we want you to go use the Portal Text Editor Island. We know you want to, sometimes just want to upload a picture, put that on an island, resize it, and do that without having to do HTML. So that's another benefit of the Image Island. And then you just want to be able to put images and put text to the right of the image or below the image so that you can kind of do some more flexible things. A lot of people do memes, etc. I'm going to really quickly go into this island just so you can show how easy it is to manage this content. So I've uploaded an image, which is our standard upload button. I've given it, it gives me a URL to that image, and then I put the link that I want us to go to. And then this is just a simplified text editor here. I can change the size, the bold, the color, etc. And it just adds the text, but then I can just move this text anywhere I want on that image. So I can move it around, I can move it above, I can do whatever I want with it. I can resize this image if I want it smaller, and then move that image, that text in it. I don't have to go into HTML. I come back out here, and now the image is here. So it's just a super easy way to create an image and put text around it, or above it, or below it, etc. So we also heard that you guys wanted your portals to look more dynamic and more alive. A lot of you guys use the custom landing page, and we found that the favorite component on the custom landing page was the rotator island, or the carousel island as we call it. So a lot of the custom landing pages have islands that will flip through news items or pictures, etc. So we thought that would be a great island to add to the portal so that you can use that on any page and not just on your custom landing page. So that's what we've done, and I just threw together a couple of real simple samples. So these are some of the common things that we see on the landing page. Quotes of the day. These were things I threw together super quick. It took me 10 or 15 minutes. You can see that I've been able to change the color of my, the fonts on the images itself. This is just an image island that I'm scrolling through. In this version, I do not have control on how much time between the rotator, but that has been added, so that will be available in this release. So there's a sample of just some quotes for the day. Some news items. This is another really common use for the rotator island. It's very easy to set up and learn and manage. Images. This is just a sample of, just these are pictures that are uploaded. If you have an event within your organization and you just want to rotate through pictures, right now where you have to add the pictures individually on the island, but we're looking at in the next version having a photo repository, kind of like the document repository, that then we can add photos to from there. But that's coming up. But right now you can add individual pictures here. And you can see these are our dashboards that we've built with our new module. So if you like the look of these and you want to pull some dashboards into your portal, that's another great way to make your portal look really, your pages look dynamic. And this is just a sample of pulling in a user profile. So, we've got the user profile island. We have the list island that you can pull profiles in. But we thought it would be cool if you could just flip through user pictures so that you can have one little area and be able to see everybody rather than taking up a whole page for that. There are some other ideas of things we want to put on the rotator island that we may be doing in the future, such as birthdays, anniversaries, etc. But we want to finish up what we have and get this in your hands, and then we'll come back and take some more ideas from you guys and get some more features in later. So we wanted, you guys, I think, wanted some flexibility with your portal. So what I'm going to show you now is just, you've probably seen me a little bit of this as I've been going through, because it's kind of hard to hide these things. But one of the most exciting things is the flexibility that we've added to your portal, just in adding islands and resizing islands and rearranging islands. So what I'm going to show you really quickly is just a quick little sample of how we've added this flexibility. So you can see here, these are some pretty standard little islands. So I'm just going to resize this one really quickly, just so you can show this little design. And just so you can see, I'm just dragging and dropping here. This is just an image island that I have on here, but every island in the portal is going to be sizable. And you'll be able to drag and drop it just like I'm doing now. So what I want to do is just see if I can rearrange these little icons over here to make this picture. So you can see just how easy that is to drag and drop. But I may want to use a grid to make this easier. So I have this little show grid. And with this grid, there's a little snap to, you can see when I get to the corner, it snaps to there. And it makes it just a little bit easier to line things up. I can stretch. This image is a certain size. I can do things like I'm going to send this to the back. So you'll notice how this one comes to the front. And then I can bring it back to the front. So I can overlay my islands a little bit. And I did that quite a bit, setting up these pages. You also notice, too, that this hover over is blue. You can change the color of this hover over to transparent so that only this little icon shows, which I'm sure will probably be a frequent use as well. That's in a style sheet, actually. So you can just see how quickly and easily we can drag and drop and move. A couple of other things that are new is we have taken the actions off the actions item and made it a menu. So you don't have to go to another page to perform all your actions. So you can see here just with a little hover over, I can see what my menu items are. I can change my island title from here. We may be able to allow you to click and change your island title. We're working on that one. And super exciting is you'll notice here that you can delete this island. So there's no more recycle bin. You don't have to have a recycle. You don't have to drag your island up. You just simply click on delete island and say, yep, you're sure, and you've got the island deleted. I can turn this grid off when I'm done with it, and that way I don't have to see it every time. The grids and the menu bars do not show on public pages or for people who don't have access to change the island. I have my refresh here. So you've also noticed that we've changed our icons and a little bit of our look and feel. This is going to be our new default navigation tree. So we've kind of cleaned everything up just a little bit and made it a lot of fun. It's really fun to be able to come in here and take a look at this and play with it. I get myself caught up and I spend a lot of time playing with this stuff. So this is a page that is kind of a typical column format that we had before. And I'm going to go ahead and turn my island skins on really quick, just so you can see. Kind of, you'll see, I don't really, I'll end up turning these back off. But this is kind of what your portals look like today. And just to give you a little bit of an idea of what you can do here, you can see how I can just really quickly drag and drop, resize. You'll notice that these don't have scroll bars, but they will in the release version. We're adding that right now because this is a work in progress. But you can see how really quickly I can take a page and just, I'm not limited to the 2 or 3 or 4 column layout that we had. And I can rebuild, I can make this, bring this up here. You'll notice that our anniversaries and our birthday island both have drop downs. So I can now switch months. That was a frequent requested feature. So just to give you a little idea of the flexibility that we've added, and like I said, you can tweak and play with this stuff and make them look and make your pages look really awesome. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn my skins back off. Make sure I haven't forgotten to show you anything. So our plans for our releases right now, we're working on kind of finishing up what we have done so far. At Powwow, we had a lot of positive response, and everybody kind of wanted to get what we have in their hands, and we know we have a lot more to do. And so our plans right now are to target a release at the end of July. We're hoping to hit that. We've got a lot of work left to do, so that is still a tentative date. There is not a cost to this update. We get that question frequently, but the upgrade and the migration are both included. The update itself is not going to be a major upgrade like our P4 update was, in case any of you have gone through that. Basically, the data will be migrated with SQL scripts just like we normally do. Your portal should look identical to the way it did before the update. So after the update, then you can go in and resize your islands and turn your skins off if you want and change your themes. But it should look exactly the same with the same layouts that you had before. Obviously, we can't duplicate everybody's data, so there might be some tweaks. So we do recommend that you use a sandbox and you get that done. So I think right now we're ready, Stephanie. If you want to launch that first survey, so we can get some feedback on the release and what they've heard today.
Perfect. So if you could take just a quick moment, we've got a question up just really asking for your preference as far as release options. If you could take a quick moment and participate in this poll, we'll collect your feedback and then go ahead and move on to there. Okay, and we'll give it just another few seconds for everyone else to finish up. There we go.
Okay.
Do you want to take a look at the results, Anne, or do you want to go ahead and move on?
Yeah, that would be great. Can we take a look at them?
Absolutely. All right, so it looks like you guys are really going back and forth between continuing to move forward with a release in Q4 and adding new features, or going ahead and moving forward with a release in July. Do you want to go ahead and move on to the next question, Anne?
I think I'll take it back and we'll ask it in just a second here. And if you guys have any other comments or anything about what you've seen, you can add those in as questions as well so that we can see those. So next is to kind of talk about release readiness. If we're looking at getting this release out at the end of July, early August, then really you can get started now preparing. One of the things we do recommend is that you have a sandbox. Many of you may already have that. You may have a sandbox, but you need to get your data refreshed, so you might want to pull your production data over to your sandbox data. If you want to do that and get started, then you can connect with your CSM and they can get you going on that. The other thing is you can access this portal. We can send that information in our follow-up email, and we send you the webinar link on how to log into this portal. We can add you as a user. Actually, probably the easiest thing to do is, if you want access, is to send us an email at help@passageways.com, and we'll get a user set up for you and send the login information. But you can get into this Voyager 1 and play with the new features and see what they look like, and maybe get some ideas on how to create some new pages. So if you want to do that, again, just email help@passageways.com. We have a University Week here in Lafayette, Indiana, that's scheduled in August. So if you want to come and learn about the 5.0 features in August, I encourage you to connect with your CSM as well on that and get you signed up. So I think we have a sandbox question. Stephanie, do we have one on sandboxes?
Yep, there's a couple of questions coming in on sandbox, just asking what a sandbox is. Do you want to take that, Anne?
Oh, sure. A sandbox is, we used to call it a test portal. So basically what we do is we take a copy of your production portal. We can put it on the same server or different, depending on different people do different things. And then you use that to test really anything you want. If you want to create some new pages just to see what they look like without messing with your production, when updates come out, you update your sandbox portal, test it, make sure everything works, and then you put it on your production. A lot of people with consulting applications will use sandbox portals to test their consulting applications before they put them out in production as well. So it's just a copy of your production portal to use for testing. Anything else? Stephanie, did I miss on that?
No, I think that covers most of it. I think the thing to keep in mind is with a release like this, where we really have a lot of flexibility coming, this is also an environment that you can leverage with your workgroup managers to get comfortable with the new features before they get put out into your production environment, or to determine how you want to leverage those, as it certainly could change the look and feel. So it gives you a little bit more time to prepare, determine how you want to present that to not only your content managers, but then the rest of your employees. And again, if you have any questions about that and whether you have a sandbox, or if you're interested in looking at a sandbox, definitely contact your CSM and they can help you through that entire process.
And I see there's another question about what's Voyager 1. Voyager 1 is actually the portal that I'm using right now to do this demonstration. This is a portal that we have set up. We set it up for powwow. so that we could make the features that we were working on available. It's kind of it's not really a beta, so to speak, because it doesn't have your own data in it. But it does give you the ability to log in and see what the new features are as they're being developed. So it's not a fully tested, you know, feature-wise it's not fully tested, but it is what's live and current, what we're working on. We have a sprint review, which is kind of when we finish up the next set of features. That's coming up this Friday. So we'll be updating this portal, which is Voyager 1. You can see it up here in my URL. We'll be updating this on Monday to have the current features that we have done so far. Not completely tested. There's some glitches in there, but it's definitely a way to get in and look and see what we have and give us some feedback on, you know, how we're doing. Do you like it? Is there something we could do to make it easier that we might be able to get in before the release? So that's what Voyager 1 is. Are there any other questions, Stephanie, that we can look at right now before we go on?
That looks to address all of the questions that have been asked so far.
Okay. Okay. Did you want to go ahead and take the sandbox survey real quick?
Yep, let me go ahead and open that up for everyone. As there are some questions that are coming up around the sandbox, this is just to get a feel of whether you have a sandbox and if it's current, if the data may be a little bit older. And again, if you have questions as you're completing this poll, you can certainly let us know and we can follow up with you afterwards also. And we'll give that another few seconds. Okay, we'll go ahead and close that out. And it looks like there's just, yeah, we'll definitely just be following up with you if you're not sure about whether you have a sandbox, or if you do and the data is a little bit older, or if you don't have a sandbox and you want to have that conversation. Again, just reach out to your CSM and we'll get you taken care of there.
Okay, perfect. The other thing to think about as we're moving forward is, you know, kind of thinking about what browsers you use and if it's time to update your browser. So I know that that Microsoft is going to stop issuing security patches for IE10 coming up in January. I know several of you are still on IE9 and using IE9. But we do know that you know, Microsoft's coming out with a new browser. Those browsers are, you know, kind of getting out to date for them as well. We do our best to make sure all of our features do work on IE9 and IE10. However, sometimes it's quite difficult to do that. So there might be a few little snags here and there. We'll continue to work through those. But that's something just to kind of start thinking about as an organization. You know, to do. So, and I think we do have a quick survey on browsers. So, Stephanie, if we could take that survey now too.
Yep, go ahead and take just a quick second and let us know if your organization still is using Internet Explorer 9 or 10. In some cases, this may not necessarily be used specifically in the browser that you're using, but if there are other individuals that are using those browser versions either by choice or by requirement. Fantastic. And I'm going to go ahead and close that up. It looks at this point in time that the majority of you are still using IE9 or IE10.
And if you can go ahead and ask the next question there.
And for you, for those of you who indicated yes, then are you planning on moving within the next 6 months to IE9?
Or IE11, yeah.
Oh, thank you. That would really be moving backwards, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. So 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of even there.
There we go.
And then I think we just have one more IE question here.
There we go. So again, yep, if you are planning on updating, or would you be, would your organization be willing to update to IE11 or an alternative browser in order to access the OnSemble 5.0 features? And as we take a look at this feedback, certainly keep in mind that if there are other browsers or browser-related questions or version-related questions or feedback, please feel free to share that at any time with support, with your customer success manager. Certainly you can contact Ann as well so that we understand you know, any of your browser-related requirements or goals there, the plans to change those. I'll go ahead and close up that particular vote, and it looks like the majority of you indicate yes, willingness to update to get those features. That's great.
Okay, thanks guys for answering that. That helps us in our planning a little bit. And I think that's it. I just wanted to quickly, you know, kind of review again that we have a new support center. It's the same URL as before, support.passageways.com. You'll see here it has our new product name, OnSemble, and we have some different areas, education and training. There's just a lot of resources out here. One of the things that we're trying to do is to make it easier for you guys to get self-help, so you don't have, you know, necessarily have to call or have as long to wait when you do call, etc. So, you know, strongly encourage you to get out here and visit. You'll notice too that we have an onboard help center that's separate from our OnSemble, and we did this just so we can keep both of our product line information separate, so it's easier to find, it's targeted. You can now submit tickets from the help center itself. You can check the status of your tickets, post comments on your tickets. A lot of those things that you guys were asking to do on our old support center that we just couldn't provide, you can now do that. Which is awesome. We have our support team here scrolling through. Below, I'm sure you've met them, but certainly if you have any questions on how to get into the support center, you can give us a call or shoot us an email at support@passageways.com, and I'm always glad to help. Our community is now live and available. There's a couple of areas that I wanted to kind of point out here. We have an OnSemble Innovate and Imagine, and this is a kind of an area to think outside of the box on new product ideas. You know, I've heard a lot of people talk about they want, you know, some project management, you know, products that we don't offer. Some of the kind of bigger things you could come out here and just start some conversations with, you know, with the other users here and get some, you know, get some ideas. If you have a feature idea for a module or, you know, anything that's in Portal Framework, like the ability to mass turn on alert preferences. We get that a lot. That would be a great product feature idea. There's implementation ideas and how to engage your employees, all kinds of information that's out here that's already populated, so certainly do take a look at that. You can get to the community center from within the help center, so you can just go to support.passageways.com and click on the community and you're right in there. So that's it for me. Do you guys have any questions or comments? Are you liking what you're seeing? Anything? You guys are...
Any other questions or, yeah?
Oh, we get a loving what we're seeing.
And OnSemble looks really great. Nice job. Fantastic.
Yep, Chrome is supported, and we always do the latest version of Chrome. Tabbed islands are not going away. Someone asked if tabbed islands were going away. They are not going away. We are not going to do a lot of updates to them in this release, but tabbed islands will probably come back to in third quarter and look at some other options to make the tabbed islands a little bit more flexible. So we are looking for some feature ideas for tabbed islands, so if you have those, please get those to us.
Yeah, and definitely share your feedback in the community. Is as Ann pulled that up, if you've not had a chance, feel free to jump in. If you need any assistance creating your ID in order to access and provide comments, certainly you can, again, reach out to your customer success manager. You can contact support. We can make sure that you're in there, but it'd be great to hear any additional feedback or comments or any ideas on how you're looking forward to leveraging the changes coming with OnSemble 5.0, and we're excited to help you guys get there. But this looks great. Thank you so much, Ann.
Well, thank you. Any more questions coming in there, Stephanie?
Nope, I think that looks like it. And again, we've got a couple of folks who are indicating that they would like to have access for Voyager 1. So again, let us know if that's the case for you, and we can make sure that that gets taken care of.
Yep, and you guys can just email support@passageways.com and just say, I want access to Voyager 1, and we'll get you in there right away. Okay.
Fantastic.
All righty, well, thank everyone for your time. And we sure do appreciate it. We're looking forward to getting these new features out to you.
Happy Thursday, guys.